thegearnetwork.com.
The following is a presentation of the Gear Radio Network.
Hey, everybody. This is Lauren Marie Taylor from Friday the 13th, Part 2. You are listening to the All Bets Are Off podcast with Robby Vegas.
What's up, rock soldiers? This is the Rockstar Robby Vegas, and we are back with another brand new episode of the All Bets Are Off podcast, and my co-host is back.
Oh, yeah.
You still have to say your name.
Oh, how you doing? My name is Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm here for the podcast. What's up, y'all? It's Chazz.
So, I don't know what we're doing today.
No, you don't.
This is all you. So, last time when Adam was on, it was his ideas, now it's yours. I don't even have control of my fucking show.
As I told you, this is my show. So, that's how this goes. I know one thing we're going to do.
We're going to try a little bit of the bubbly.
A live on-air tasting of a little bit of the bubbly.
Friend of the show, Chris Jericho.
He sent it.
He did. There was a little gift, a little bow on top. It said, from friend of the show, so we knew.
We knew right away.
Yep.
Now, I've had it before, so I know my feelings on it.
I've never had it.
I've gotten 2 bottles. I've been meaning to bring this the last, 5 podcasts.
Okay. Before we get rolling, I do need to tell the listeners that today's episode is presented by Podgo. Podgo is the easiest way for you to monetize your podcasting, providing podcasters with a flat rate for ad space, so you always know how much you get when you include an ad from Podgo. Apply today to become a member and immediately be connected with your advertisers. They will fit your audience. So that's podgo.co at podgo.co, and be sure to add our podcast, All Bets Are Off with Robby Vegas, in the How Did You Hear About Podgo section. So, what are we doing today?
Well, we are doing, so since it's Wrestlemania season,
Yes.
we're a week away? Well, 6 days away?
We are, what's today's date? Because this is coming out in 2 weeks.
So this is Wrestlemania.
Yes, WrestleMania.
WrestleMania started yesterday.
Yes.
And it was great.
Yes, it was.
It was fantastic. And it's going to be great today.
Of course it is.
So, it's not necessarily WrestleMania-based questions. I have a list of questions that I want to ask Robby, the almighty Robby Vegas.
So these are wrestling questions for a wrestler.
Yes, it's wrestling questions about certain topics, certain aspects of wrestling. Some a little more marquee psychology stuff. And then others, a little more obvious, a little more favoritism, things like that. So it's going to be pretty easy. And I got to tell you, why don't you tell them what my big news is revolving WrestleMania?
You're going to WrestleMania?
I am going. I was there last night.
Yeah.
I hope I was there last night. So I'll be there. I'll be the sideline reporter.
Do you think they caught on that we're recording this in advance?
That's fine. They realize it's not a live show. But I'm excited to go.
On top of your WrestleMania excitement, I have something even more exciting for you.
What's that?
Check it out.
Oh, my shirt.
Yeah, buddy.
My Airhead shirt, and I don't mean the candy. That's awesome.
Literally was on my doorstep today.
Awesome. That's it. Covering my mouth here while I'm talking. That's sweet. The Lone Ranger.
If anybody doesn't know the Airheads movie from 1994, go watch it right now.
Yes,
because I'm borderline hating you at the moment.
Brendan Fraser, Adam Sandler, Chris Farley, Steve Buscemi, Michael Richards.
It's so good.
Ian McKellen. Right, not Ian McKellen. That's Magneto. Who's the guy that played in whatever his name?
You talking about Spinal Tap guy?
Yes.
I don't know his last name.
Michael something. The guy from Spinal Tap. You can see we're big fans.
Joe Montagno.
Joe Montagno, yeah. Yeah, and awesome movie.
Yeah, for sure. So we're going to post pictures of the shirt. We're going to post pictures of the bubbly. This is going to be a very interactive episode.
And you still have no idea what's going on.
I don't. So the basis is you have wrestling-related questions for me that I don't know.
And I already have the right answers. That's obviously all opinion-based.
So I'm hearing these for the first time as you ask them, so you're getting my first thoughts immediately.
And I've had time to think of it.
Right.
So, for instance, we're just starting you off with the softball. One you're going to answer easily.
Is this right now?
Right now.
Okay.
So the whole thing is best of right now. Okay, so like if I ask a certain question, you can't give me something about Shawn Michaels, even though you want to.
Okay.
You can't.
Because that's my answer for everything.
I know. So, like, you can't do that. It's the best of right now.
I just want to give a quick shout out to a good brother of mine, big time Bill Collier, who faced John Moxley on AEW Elevation and then went against the Dark Order on AEW Dark. I love Bill. He's always been there for me. Always good advice. He's a veteran. Took me under his wing when we were working for the same company. And he definitely deserves this time. So very happy to see you on TV, Bill. And we'll be watching.
Whoa!
That was the bubbly.
That was the bubbly. We didn't pop.
We did not pop it. It was just sitting here. But can I just say that was really strange because I was talking about how great Bill is doing and how I want to see what happens next for him on AEW. And the bubbly, which has the AEW logo on it, popped.
Oh, shit.
So
that was creepy.
That was creepy. And I got to say, Bill, that maybe that's an omen that you're doing
maybe
big things.
Chris Jericho.
It could be.
You better not, because he's friend of the show. Bill's not friend of the show yet.
Not yet. But I have a feeling he's going to be.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. Well, after that little...
So the bubbly's open.
Oh, the bubbly.
So I'm going
to... That was... I wish that was on camera.
Me too.
What happened to video podcast?
I don't know. That was really strange. Like, we weren't touching it, people.
Ready? Let's get it right up to the mic.
Yeah.
Let's hear this. Oh, yeah.
All right.
Fizzy.
A little bit of the bubbly.
Fizzy.
Popping for big time Bill Collier.
Yeah, Jesus. Thanks. I think Jericho tried to kill us.
I think he did too.
I think he put something in there.
You think he was mad we were talking about somebody else on AEW?
Oh, yeah. Maybe so. Well, let's give it a
All right, cheers. Wow, that's good.
Yeah, it's smooth.
It is.
It's not uber sweet.
I didn't really know what to expect, but it's pretty good.
It's good. It's in the middle. It's not super sweet. It's not super dry.
Was my first question, do I like the bubbly?
Do you like the bubbly?
I do.
I do like the bubbly, too. I mean, if we were real men, we'd have orange juice.
Yeah, of course. Of course, we'd be having mimosas.
Yes, but we don't. So, thanks, Chris Jericho. Thanks for trying to kill us.
Yeah, friend of the show. Scared the shit out of me when I was trying to toast a good brother.
Bro, that was creepy.
That was.
I don't know what happened there. There's the cork over.
Cork is a good 6 feet away from us. I don't know.
Good thing we weren't, like, looking at the fucking cork. What the hell? That was creepy. It was just sitting on the table.
I just think it's weird that I was talking about AEW when it popped, and I was just saying I can't wait to see what happens next.
Okay, so like I said, softball. I already know your answer for this one.
Okay.
Best in the business today. Ready? Best hair.
Best hair?
Yeah.
Well, I would have said Dolph Ziggler because
No,
it's
that's
very
not what I
80s hair
thought you were
metal.
going with.
I've been saying it on Twitter, on Instagram, and on this show for like a month. But yes, Ali, hopefully friend of the show, I'm still waiting for that, for you to slide into my DMs with that hair care because, bro, I've been asking on the show. The fans are trying to get to you for me. I need to know how you get the silky smooth hair all the time. I watched you face Drew McIntyre on Raw, and the only thing I can think of is look at his fucking hair.
I actually didn't pick an answer for this one because I know you were so succinct in your answer.
It is Ali. Come on.
That's fine. I'll take it.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to just, like, debate me on that.
No, I don't really have an answer. I just that one I just threw out at the end because I figured.
Yeah, it's definitely Ali.
And then we'll throw another softball, I think. In the business today, this doesn't mean WWE.
Okay.
Just, right? Best theme song today, considering our last episode.
Out of anything?
Yeah, out of...
Judas.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's the answer. That is the answer. That's the correct answer. That's what we're looking for.
I'm not just saying that to please our AEW listeners.
As we're pouring more
bubbly. I actually fully believe it is Judas.
Yeah, it's a great song.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, if you had to pick one that wasn't like a licensed song, off the top of your head.
Are we talking like a song that was like in-house created?
Just like Judas is a mainstay song of a band, you know? So just like a wrestler's entrance song.
Burn It Down, Seth Rollins.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
It's a good tune.
I think I'll always have a soft spot for Dolph Ziggler's music too.
Yeah,
it just fits him so well, and I think his mannerisms when he comes out and everything bring the song together. I think it makes it what it is. Because without Dolph, I don't think it would be a great song. But
yeah, and I would say that, or which we mentioned on the last episode, Bobby Roode's.
Yeah, Bobby Roode's
a lot.
Yeah.
All right, so that was some softballs. Let's get into a nerdier question.
Oh boy,
a more Mark question.
Mark's here?
No.
Oh, okay.
I didn't invite him.
All right, shout out to Marcus.
Who in the business today is the best seller?
Oh, definitely Dolph Ziggler.
Dolph still?
Yeah.
Still to this day?
I think that Dolph will be the best for another 5, 6, 7 years.
Really?
Yeah. That dude could sell an Eskimo ice. Like, I don't know. There's something about his ability. I do think Ali's pretty good, too.
Mm.
And if I had to pick 3, I would say Ricochet.
Okay.
I don't know. Something about the way Ricochet can sell a big move from a big dude is really like...
Well, because he sells it.
Yeah, he does.
He doesn't act like nothing happened.
And I don't think that Ricochet's being buried. I think that he's had a pretty good career so far.
Just had a championship. Well, not a championship match, but he had a chance for a championship match.
Right, and with McIntyre.
Yeah.
And did you see how he sold the Claymore?
Mm-hmm.
Like, guys like that will always have a place and always have jobs, and he will get another push. Mm-hmm. The roster's very big. It'll come back around, but he's in the top sellers for sure.
I mean, I agree with all of those. My pick, I've mentioned this before, and it's something that probably slipped your mind, because she doesn't get a lot of airtime in matches, is Natty.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Every time I watch a match from Natty, I literally think she's hurt in every match.
And she almost seems like she's crying.
Yeah.
She almost does.
Like, I always like, ooh, is she hurt? What happened? Every single match, she always gets me. And to me, that's my pick, just because, just knowing what selling is now and everything like that, like, I wish I could have that effect on people if I was a wrestler, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's like what you want. She gets me every damn time.
Yeah.
Now, it's kind of tied into this next question, but I think they're different, and it's a more marquee question, but it ties in. But who has the best, like, facial expressions?
Ooh,
I think they're different.
They are different. It is a part of selling, but I think that people with strong facial expressions are just a little bit different because they don't necessarily.
It's even in talking.
Yes, like promos. Yeah. It depends. Like Drew McIntyre came to mind because he is very animated lately. He's got more attitude than he's had before,
and he needs it.
Yeah.
He needed a refresh.
Yes, he's not just that stone-faced big guy.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, something about when he talks and he stares into the camera, I believe what he's saying. And to me, that is because of his face, Bobby Lashley's been getting really good at that, too. Like, he looks crazy sometimes.
As long as he's not talking. Still not talking.
We're talking about facial expressions.
Facials, I agree with Bobby Lashley. Yeah, it's just his eyes, man. His eyes are, like, just they're crazy. Like, you're like, damn, I don't want to fuck with this. Oh, don't talk. Oh. That's how I feel with Lashley. So you're going with Drew? Drew and Lashley?
I'm going to say Drew and Lashley at the moment. If I go for some undercard guys, well, actually, no, let's stay with main eventers for a second because Edge is really good at that.
Yes, Edge is good. Roman's been really good
Roman's good at it, too.
None of these are my answer, but I'm just...
Oh, Asuka.
Asuka,
yeah. Asuka has great facial expressions.
Especially the whole thing with her mouth right now.
Yes.
She's selling it so good. My pick is The Miz.
Okay.
The Miz, anytime, like, even if you look at, like...
He's good at looking like a chicken shit.
Or, like, when he had the belt for that, week he had it, and it was just, like, Bobby came out, and, like, all this... And I already had picked Miz before that, but, like, just his faces. Like, he's pure fear.
Yeah.
And, like, you can tell his wheel... Like, he makes you, like, at least when he's talking and in promos, like... His wheels are spinning, like, like, he looks like he's thinking, as opposed to reading a script or something.
Yes.
And like, he just does a good job with that, and I don't know, he can sell it with his face.
Well, if we're talking that, then Ali's got to be in this mix, too, because when he cuts promos, I know he's not in Retribution anymore, but he was very believable because he looked so passionate and angry, and, I think the guy's underrated all around. Hair, facial expressions.
We get it. You have a man crush.
Little.
How my questions so far? How am I doing?
Good.
This working so far? You like it? Okay, we got 72 more to go. No,
3-hour podcast.
No, I don't have that many. Now, I'm going to stick this one for obvious reasons. This next question is males only.
Okay.
Because I just don't want to go down this road. And you'll see why. Best in the business. Best body in the business.
Bobby Lashley.
Easily. That's my answer.
And there is no, like... tie with that. Like, it is Bobby Lashley.
He's always, like, looked like a god, and now he looks like God's god. Like, he's just insane.
If I could give a couple, like, runner-up shout-outs, I would say Drew McIntyre. I would say Brian Cage, and I would just leave it at those three at the moment.
What about even, like, Rhett Titus?
Rhett's always been.
Always.
Yeah.
He's just a little, like... I like him a little thicker. But he's just, like, a little more lean. Rhett Titus, to me... Is Rick Rude.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
That's exactly
where
what he is.
Bobby Lashley is like Ultimate Warrior.
Do you think people are shocked right now that we're talking about Ring of Honor and AEW people.
Well, it's mainly focused about WWE, but like a lot of those guys are the best in the business.
Yes.
And that's why they're there.
Yeah.
But I do have some questions like outside WWE.
Yeah.
So actually, we'll tackle it now. Why not? Who do you want? Give me 2 wrestlers that you want to see headline WrestleMania that aren't in the WWE system at all. So there you go.
And
totally outside. That includes NXT.
never have been?
Just like...
Or just now?
Like, I don't want to hear Kurt Angle.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Just like 2 guys, maybe they were there for a cup of coffee. But,
okay,
you know, in general. 2 guys, it doesn't have to be heel face. You know what I mean? Just like 2 guys who you think, and all the other companies, Ring of Honor, Impact, NWA, AEW.
Ray Phoenix. I would definitely like to see Ray Phoenix in a WrestleMania at some...
This is okay. I went with headline WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So if you think that's big time, cool.
I'd like to see him and Adam Cole.
But he's in NXT. But I would say, I see what you're saying.
Does that count?
I'll take Adam Cole.
Okay.
That's fine. I'll take it.
Those are 2 guys that came to mind right away.
I don't think Adam Cole's ever going to leave NXT.
I don't either.
He's perfect there.
If he doesn't, that's fine, because he's kicking ass, and he's main eventing, and he is the reason for watching NXT, in my opinion. But, I don't know, Ray Phoenix, there's something about the guy that you just can't... Talk about people who could sell, and with a mask on, which is tough.
Right.
And he's athletic as hell. He can go in there with cruiserweights or heavyweights and have a believable, good match. And I love guys who have believable matches.
Yeah.
I don't want a guy who's just a fucking acrobat and gets up from everything. Ray Phoenix knows where to put everything. And I think that's what WWE looks for in a wrestler.
And did that come from Mexico? Did he come from Mexico?
He did, yes.
So, like, he was there a long time. And so he learned that trade, and that's, like, a lot of Mexico's trades. Well, sometimes they're guilty of not selling too much.
Yeah.
But you said yourself he sells really
He does.
So, like, he's learned that aspect.
Yes.
And, like, from everything I know about it, I haven't seen a ton of matches, but I've never seen a bad one.
Right. And that speaks a lot, because anything you've seen, you've been like, hey, that guy's pretty good.
I mean, he's easily, like, I think he's better than Ricochet.
Ray Phoenix, I do too.
Yeah.
I would watch.
I think Ricochet is probably like people put him at the like top of the high flyers, but I don't think he is.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a Ricochet fan.
Yeah,
for sure. Like, I'll never turn the channel on a Ricochet match. Ricochet and AJ Styles, a few weeks on Raw or whatever, was really good.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Ray Phoenix is just—he's my guy right now. I guess outside of WWE, anyways.
Right.
So,
well, my headlining match for WrestleMania with non-WWE stars,
Matt Taven,
of course. He's so
he's fantastic,
guy.
And he was so nice to us.
He was super nice, but he's such a WWE guy.
Yeah, for sure.
He's all attitude. And he wrestles great.
Yeah,
and he's ever since he tore his ACL, he's changed his style. But he used to be high flying.
Yes,
and he used to do a lot of stuff. And now to me, I watch him, and I feel like Matt Taven's the kind of guy that if WWE ever signs him, he's in NXT for like 4 months.
Yeah, for sure.
That's it. Then he's up. I don't know if he would ever be champion, but I would like to see a match of Matt Taven, headlining WrestleMania, against, and I think this guy is WWE material all day, is Nick Aldis.
Oh, yeah, you say that all the time.
Those 2 guys, like, can just, I mean, he is the reason I watched NWA, because it still gets a little corny.
Yeah.
Just not corny, it's just like, I don't know. It is what it is. They only have so much money.
Mm-hmm.
But Nick Aldis, man, every word he says, like, he leaves me hanging on. He's got that perfect, like, heelness of, like, old Flair. He reminds me of old Flair, where it's like, he'll say good things about who he's wrestling, but still he'll put the wrestler over and he'll put himself over at the same time. And, like, you just believe him because he's technical and he's strong and he's muscular and, like, I don't know. He's really cool. So I would like to see him, and I don't know if you ever will.
I don't know if you will either.
I honestly don't. I think he might be Sting, where it's like he's just not the WWE guy. Go ahead, have my wife.
Yeah, right.
Let her do whatever. So I think that would be cool to see those guys.
I mean, he's had a great career regardless, so I guess it doesn't matter, but it would be cool.
He was the only, like, before I got back into wrestling hardcore, before AEW was a thing, and, like, this was the point, say, like, I don't know, 2017, when, like, all the big indie guys I knew growing up were in WWE, Joe and AJ and all that stuff. And it was like, he was like the only guy I like heard of.
Oh, yeah.
Nick Aldis. Yeah. Nick Aldis. So, like, I'd love to see that. So I'm a mark for Taven, obviously, and all this. So let's see that match. All right. Here's a fun question. The question is, who is the realist? Meaning, who do you think, like, portrays their character and you think to yourself, in a shoot fight, I have nothing to do with this person.
Like, I wouldn't shoot fight with this guy.
I don't want to shoot fight this person.
Well, 2 guys came to mind immediately, which were Brock Lesnar and Drew McIntyre. Like, I would not want to shoot fight Drew McIntyre. He's huge.
Right.
And he's built like a brick house.
And he's quick.
And he intimidated the fuck out of me in person. So,
I mean, Brock Lesnar's the easy answer.
Yeah, of course.
I think, but he's not even really around right now.
But here's a curveball for you, though. Also, I apologize if you guys hear cars going by. It's super nice out, so we have the balcony door open, and we're not going to close it. Sorry.
At Casa de Robby.
That's right. You know who's probably a great shoot fighter is Drew Gulak.
Probably
I bet you he'll fucking tie you up in knots.
But you would. I don't think you would.
I might try it.
You would think. You would be like, Same thing I've always said about Daniel Bryan.
Yeah. I also would never face Bobby Lashley in a shoot fight.
And he had some MMA matches too.
Well, take it outside of WWE. Brian Cage is a fucking mountain.
Oh yeah,
I would
Brian
not
Cage
shoot.
is creepy.
Yeah, and he kind of like, I don't know. Like when I see him on TV, sometimes I'm like, is he fucking legit?
Yeah.
Is he beating the fuck out of this? Like,
right.
I question it.
Their characters, like, it's not just about their background, it's their characters. And here's my answer. Shayna Baszler.
Oh, yeah.
I would... Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing whatsoever. I don't care. I'm bigger than her.
Yep.
Nope.
Yeah,
I want nothing to do with her because...
Or Sonya Deville, by the way.
Just Shayna Moore, though.
Shayna Moore, for sure.
It's just like her character.
Yeah.
Even like more in NXT, I guess, because she's a little less hard right now.
Yeah.
She's still hard. And she still scares the fuck out of me.
Yeah. I don't know if it's the no eyebrows or the mouth guard or the fact that she looks like she's breaking their arms.
Yeah, and she looks like and she kicks Asuka's teeth out.
Yeah, that was a shoot.
Bro, like, she literally scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, she's a scary chick.
And she's just a scary person.
Yeah.
Like, she's the one. Obviously, I don't want to fight Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Either. But he ain't even on the roster, right? So he doesn't count. Notice none of us said friend of the show, Chris Jericho.
Oh yeah, we didn't.
I would try.
There's gonna be. Is there a question where I'm gonna say Chris Jericho?
We already did.
Which one?
The theme.
Oh, I did say that. Yeah. He was one of the first answers.
Yeah, he was one of the first. There could be one of the questions.
Hit me.
All right, we're still going. Okay, let's try this one. Right now.
Okay.
Right now. Not Shawn Michaels 1996, okay? Not...
Are we sure?
Not Shawn Michaels 1996. Not, I don't know, somebody 5 years ago.
Okay.
This moment, April 11th, 2021.
Yeah.
In the business, who is the best talker?
Ooh. MVP's up there.
Well, he needs to be because Bobby should not have a mic. And
yes.
Just once in a while.
Yeah. Who's the best talker?
Bobby, you know who Bobby Lashley is? Mike Tyson.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's just like yeah, he's gonna whoop your ass, right, Mike Tyson? Yeah, man.
Do I have to just say one person?
Give me a few.
All right, MJF.
he's great.
Yep. Ali.
You're not allowed to say that anymore.
No, that's it. I tapped out. Still Jericho.
Jericho. And I'll give you Ali because Ali. I believed he was good with his Retribution stuff, but at the same time, maybe it's a size thing, like. These guys standing next to him and him doing all that shit, like, it's like, all right.
Yeah, okay, I get it. I get it. Yeah.
But that's not his fault.
He's a believable guy, though.
Yeah, that's not his fault.
Right.
So
who did I say so far? Ali, MJF, Chris Jericho. Drew McIntyre's pretty good, but somebody who, like, captivates me.
You said MVP.
I did say MVP. I think Randy Orton. Randy Orton's always believable.
Alexa Bliss.
Alexa Bliss was my next one because obviously that.
But she's the best of her career ever.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I hope she never changes. Well, she wasn't my answer. My answer, I sent you a couple of his promos from Ring of Honor, Brian Johnson.
Yeah.
I don't even care for him as a wrestler.
Yeah.
But when he starts talking, he just like, you want to talk believable. Like, I mean, you can see the vein in his head and you can see like his spit like coming out of his mouth and it's just like, you just buy it.
I'd also like to throw in Don Callis.
Don Callis?
Yeah. That's
the old jackal?
Yes. Yeah. What he's doing right now with Kenny Omega, I think, smart move. Because he's a great mouthpiece.
Smart, well, right, and that's what they need. It's the same thing with MVP for Bobby Lashley. That relationship's weird to me.
It is.
Like, the whole Impact going with AEW. Like, why? Like, I think there's a little scaredness, that's not the word, but, like, of AEW. Like, shit, like, okay, we're doing fine.
But they're going to put us out of business.
We're not, like, taking the next step.
Yeah.
And it's just like, let's integrate something else.
Yeah, they're timid. It's trying to raise Impact's ratings so that they don't blip off the radar, finally.
But I think it's the other way around. I think AEW's dipping into their pool just to try to get more help.
Could be.
You know, like, because there's some great wrestlers and great mouthpieces in Impact. And
yeah, of course.
Like, you know, I don't know, man. It's like it's probably mutual beneficial.
Yeah.
For AEW to do that's weird to me because AEW is fine. But the way they envisioned it was they're going to start off fine, and by a year or so in, they're going to be 2 million viewers, and the same amount of viewers basically this whole time.
Yes.
Sure, it goes up and down.
Yeah.
But they're not getting any new fans.
Right.
And, well, same thing for NXT. Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine. That's what it is. It is what it is there. And it's just interesting to me how that came along. I don't know. But Doc Ellis he came out of, I didn't watch TNA back in the day, and I knew he was involved in that.
Yes.
So, to me, to see him back just was
The Truth Commission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was funny to see that.
For any of you listeners that are too young to know what the Truth Commission is, Google is a wonderful thing because the Jackal was the man.
He was cool. He was cool then. I remember he was doing a podcast with Lance Storm.
Yes.
Now here's a question for me. If I could pick one wrestler not to do a podcast, it'd be Lance. That would probably be my answer.
Did you see my back and forth with Lance Storm a few weeks ago?
I can't say it did.
No. We were going back and forth one night about his promos with Jericho from Smoky Mountain.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it was a whole thing. But anyways.
Where's he from?
Calgary.
So he's...
Friend of the
friend
show.
Of the show? The whole...
And a very good friend of our bestest friend of the show.
Bestest friend of the show.
Yeah.
Friend of the show,
Chris Sherrick. We can't overstate that enough.
Okay, so here's one I didn't put an answer to. Right now, in the business, so we only got there's 1, 2, 3, about 7, 8 left. So
Okay.
in the business today, this one's interesting. I never put an answer. What is the best finisher?
Oh, man.
What's Ali's finisher?
No, I was actually the first thing that came to my mind was the Claymore.
Very dominant.
It's very dominant. But I also really dig the Judas effect. I'm very big on moves that you can hit on anybody no matter how big or small.
Sense.
Right. Because why am I going to have a fucking move that I can only hit on guys that weigh up to whatever pounds?
You mean the AEW Champions move?
Oh.
How can he do that on anybody?
Yeah.
You think he's going to do that with Brian Cage?
Right.
But Brian Cage is big, but he's not.
Can you do it to the Big Show?
Right.
But the Judas effect and the Claymore you can do to the Big Show.
True. I mean, that goes hand in hand with the spear.
Spear, I love the spear too. That's a tough question, but those were the first two that came to my mind.
Yeah, I never put an answer. The two that came to my mind was the Claymore, but it's just because he's the man right now.
Yeah.
And he's pushed so hard, but also still to this day, the RKO.
The RKO is forever going to be one of the best finishers. I don't know. I can't think of any others that stand out to me right now.
It seems like that's why I wanted to put that out there. It seems like there's a lack thereof. Memorable finishers right now.
I agree. And this beef jerky you brought because you made it.
I did.
Is delicious.
Marco, so good. Yeah, I did it. I make some good-ass beef jerky. I mean, I am a chef by trade.
True.
So
True.
I got to learn some things, but my beef jerky wouldn't be a finishing. But I still am just perplexed. I really don't know if you're dicking in. Whoa! What was I going to say? Digging into the RKO, that's 15 years old, if not more.
Yeah. I also really like AJ Styles using the calf crusher. I know it's not always a finish. It's more like a false finish.
I've never liked it, even though I heard it's dangerous. I've never liked the Styles Clash. It doesn't look like it hurts.
I'm not a fan of the Styles Clash as much as I'm a fan of the fucking forearm. Yeah.
Yeah, the Styles Clash to me looks like all the force is going down towards your foot.
Yeah.
So to me, but I've heard it's dangerous.
You know what the what a flashy move is, but it doesn't always look impactful, is the SOS Kofi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It looks cool.
Yeah. And
sometimes, depending on who he does it on, you're like, ooh, but then other times it's just like, so.
I've always liked the bro kick, too.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's...
See, but same like I'm saying, though, the strikes.
Yeah.
Strikes that you can hit out of nowhere, they tend to grab my attention more because you just get that quick burst of boom, oh, shit.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are or how long you've been watching wrestling. Every now and then you get that moment where you go, oh, shit.
I mean, the right answer might be the spear because
Yeah.
Edge works it, Reigns works it, Bobby Lashley's been using it now.
Yep.
It's cool to see the full Nelson come back with Bobby Lashley.
Yep.
That's so old school, but have you ever been in a full Nelson?
Yeah, it sucks.
It sucks. It's literally I think it's banned in amateur wrestling.
It might be.
From what I remember, we could only do a half Nelson because I used to wrestle in high school. So
Well, I'm going to stick with the Claymore and the Judas effect.
Yeah, I didn't have an answer, but I might go with the spear or the full Nelson.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. Here's a fun one. Who is, in the business today, the answer is Ali, obviously, but who is the most underrated? Just one. You can throw a million names out there, but you have to pick one.
Jesus.
The most underrated in the business.
I mean, Ali does come to my mind first, you know. I'm just going to stick with it and just leave it at that.
This is the Ali cast.
This is the Ali cast. Bro, I fucking love you, dude. Like, tell me about your hair.
He is great.
Yeah.
And I think you know my answer.
Matt Taven. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's not even like
Matt Taven's like a hidden secret.
He really is. He's really good at, like, he's not bad at anything.
Well, the first time I had met him was in a locker room at Upstate Pro Wrestling, and he wasn't even on the show. He literally came to watch, and he just walked in the locker room, introduced himself to all of us as if, you know, we didn't know that Matt Taven was hanging out, because he's that humble. And, you know, I met him then, and then I met him, 2 weeks later with you, and he remembered. And he was just a cool dude, and, like, talked to both of us. He gave you 2 pictures, one for your restaurant.
Yeah.
Like,
for the price of one.
For the price of one, yeah.
And he, like, gave me a free picture.
Yep.
But, like, it's not why I like him. I liked him going into that.
Yeah,
and
that was the only reason you wanted to go early, was Matt Taven.
And, like, it's the same thing with Ali, except, well, Matt Taven's not a huge dude. He's probably not that much bigger than Ali, to be honest. And, like, what does Matt Taven and Ali do wrong or bad?
Well, Ali was like a success story in itself because he was just meant to be a cruiserweight on 205 Live.
Yeah.
And he ended up showing out and breaking in a big way. And unfortunately got injured, which led us to Kofi Mania. But I think he was well on his way to being that, hey man, like you're pretty like one of our best kept secrets. Let's launch you into the stratosphere. And I think Retribution was a good way to bring him back up. And putting him against Drew McIntyre, that's a good way to keep him up.
Right.
And if I think of other people who had been hidden gems in the past, like Buddy Murphy, like that's just what happens.
Very underrated.
Yeah, but they just come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like everybody kind of knows, like, man, I bet you that guy could really go. And then when they do it, you're like, holy shit.
See, I feel like Buddy Murphy's ahead of Ali for me.
Well, he got one of his pushes. He's gotten multiple pushes, actually.
Yeah, but it's just underrated. He's just not.
Oh, he's definitely underrated.
Not like, it's the same thing. Like, what does he do wrong? Like, he's not, like, same thing with Taven. Like, they're technical. They can high fly. They're strong.
You know what I think it is I think not everybody connects. And what I mean by that is, like, WWE, as much as people want to shit on Vince McMahon, he's a genius, and he knows who to push. And he knows who should be on top, and who's going to be believable, and who's going to deliver those moments. And 9 times out of 10, yes, it's going to be a big dude like Drew McIntyre or Roman Reigns, but he's out of, like, the Andre the Giant era. They're just bigger guys.
But that's why there's Intercontinental Championships.
Right.
Like, there's room for secondary championships.
Oh, there totally is, but there's also, the roster is huge. Right. Ever since WCW got bought out, Vince has had too many wrestlers.
Well, ever since they started NXT.
Yeah. But at one point, remember at the height of the Attitude Era, everybody was used and everybody had a storyline.
Yeah.
It got out of control when they hired all those guys, and now they're still keeping a huge roster. And it's hard to push everybody. And, like, people are like, oh, Cesaro. I don't care what you say about Cesaro. He's strong as fuck. He's a great athlete. He has the personality of a stick.
That's why he's not in that list. He can't talk like those other guys. And I don't even know if Buddy can talk.
Well, people are going to crucify me for saying that, but Keith Lee's in that category.
Yeah.
He's an amazing athlete for a big guy. And I will watch his matches and be like, wow, I can't believe he could do that. Put a mic in his hands, I'm turning the channel.
But it's not even the same. What you're saying is kind of what we almost say about Bobby Lashley, but there's a difference.
There is a difference.
Because Bobby Lashley's still menacing.
Right.
Keith Lee just kind of looks soft.
Yes.
He just looks soft.
He's just kind of one of those guys that's like, check this out, I can do cool shit.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, that's not what professional wrestling is.
Right.
That is not.
Yeah.
It's entertainment, and you need to have an it factor.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve to have a job, but I'm saying those guys don't main event WrestleMania.
And it's still like that with Ali, and I can even say the same thing with Matt Taven. If Matt Taven, I couldn't see Matt Taven or Ali holding the Universal Championship.
Right.
This is not them.
Right.
But being big Intercontinental Champions,
right,
or big US, or losing to a match to Drew McIntyre,
right.
You need those people. You can't always be, the top upper echelon guys.
Do I think that Ali could have a great Intercontinental run? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Buddy Murphy, too.
Yeah. Do I think those guys can still have a Hall of Fame career without being Universal Champion? 100%.
Mr. Perfect?
I was going to say the same thing. You took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah, you're welcome.
But people didn't think that way.
Rude.
Rick Rude, Jake the Snake.
Yeah.
Like, all these guys, Ted DiBiase, none of them held the fucking World Heavyweight title. Razor Ramon, like, they're all Hall of Famers. Not one of them got there. But do people remember or talk about that? No, because everybody's too busy reading dirt sheets and crying about why their guy's getting buried in the locker room.
Exactly.
It's not real news, people. It's fucking high school shit.
It is.
Like, take it from somebody who's inside the business and who's been in those locker rooms. I've been in the Impact locker room. I've been in the WWE locker room. It's not what you guys have this picture painted in your mind. It's a family. And everybody's happy to be there, and they're fucking great people. End of story.
The people that seem to get very hurt over stuff are the people, I don't want to say this to sound offensive, that take their job too seriously, I think, almost.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to demean people for saying that, because, I mean, you take wrestling seriously.
Absolutely.
But it's a difference. Like, I don't think I've ever heard you say, like, oh, no, I'm not going to go to that company and lose to that guy, or
right.
like, what? No, that's like what it is.
Right.
Somebody wins, somebody loses.
Yes.
Like,
and a
that's
lot
what
of
it is.
times you could walk away from a match that you lost with more steam behind you than if you would have won.
Literally, I just heard Kurt Angle on his podcast talking about WrestleMania 22. How coming out of that match, the triple threat between Orton and Rey Mysterio, where Mysterio won the title, he lost the title.
Yes.
How he came out hotter after that match than anything else.
Yes. And that happens a lot.
Yeah.
And it does. Like, as a character, your growth kind of depends on your losses. You know, I'm going to use myself as an example in Upstate Pro Wrestling. I was on a losing streak. And then I entered a match, a battle royal, to see who was going to go on to main event for the heavyweight title that night. And when it came down to the final three, and I was still in there, the crowd was hooked. They were like, that's the fucking guy. That's the one that we want. Did I win that match? No, I
Probably
tied.
not.
I tied with somebody else and still went to the main event.
There you go.
But now it's a triple threat main event, and now I need to prove myself even more. Did I win the heavyweight title? No. But were they fucking chomping at the bit, thinking and hoping that I was going to? 100%.
Yeah.
Why? Because I was on a fucking losing streak.
Yeah. And I agree. And that's why, like, the people that take it too seriously are what's ruining the business. And, you know, in a sense, but those are also the people that will bitch and cry about how Hogan wouldn't lose to anybody.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But they're doing the same exact thing.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So on the one hand, we said most underrated. So who is the most overrated? Now, let's preface this. This doesn't mean this person sucks.
Right.
And they're not good wrestlers. Mm-hmm. But there's overrated means there's way too much, I don't know, hype for what you are. Right, I guess is the best way to describe it.
Yeah, I think it's saying that you're put on a pedestal and not saying you don't have talent or you're not great, but it's just one of those things where it's like everybody's biting on this because they're being, in a sense, told to. Right. Like, hey, this is the next big thing, and they're just like, cool, he got famous overseas.
Years ago, people would have said it was John Cena.
Right. And
who isn't overrated at any means? Guy's fantastic. I think.
He's always been good,
yeah.
But they were told to think that he sucked.
Yeah.
So they did. And I don't mean every fan, but there's a group of fans out there who will hang on any dirt sheet and any insider, backstage fake news and just crucify somebody for it, and then it just catches on.
True.
So who do I think's overrated right now? Kenny Omega.
I was thinking that, but that's not my answer.
What's your answer?
The Young Bucks.
Well, that was my runner-up.
I think they're more overrated than him.
Let me clarify this. I'm a fan of the Young Bucks.
I'm fine with the Young Bucks.
Do I think that they have way too much hype behind them at the current moment? Yes, because AEW is brand new and everybody's like, these guys.
Not even AEW. They were overrated 4 years ago.
Yeah, I mean...
And Kenny Omega wasn't. That's why I feel like I'm stuck. Because Kenny Omega, I don't know. I don't look at Kenny Omega as the face of AEW. I look at the Young Bucks as the face of AEW. And I feel like that's why I give them that title. Because they've never, like... I'm not saying they put on bad matches or anything.
No, they don't.
That, but I have never looked at them once and said, this is the greatest tag team ever.
Right.
Like, I've never done that.
Well,
Never.
I'll tell you this. I've met the Young Bucks, and they're awesome guys. So I have nothing bad to say about them as people.
I'm not talking bad. It's just overrated.
I also have nothing bad to say about them as performers. I think that sometimes, for me personally, their matches get too out of control, where it's like, if you guys can kick out of all of this, you're not human. And isn't the point of what wrestlers are doing is to take the unbelievability factor out and make it more believable?
Right.
So to me, if it goes on and gets to that point, yeah, there's a part of me that's kind of starting to tap out. And in my head, I'm going, man, these guys are phenomenal athletes. They're great on the mic. They're good people. But this match is just too much for me now.
I don't even know. I can't honestly say they're good or bad on the mic because I've never remembered a memorable thing from them.
I will say this, though. The reason I said Kenny Omega over them...
Go on with Kenny Omega.
I picked Kenny over them because right now I feel like everybody's hanging the weight of AEW on Kenny's back. And I don't think that that's fair. I think that... And right now also, I think the Young Bucks in general, Matt specifically, is probably doing some of, like, his best work. And I respect that. And I think it's awesome. But Kenny, ever since his match with Jericho in Japan, everybody's been like, this guy's the greatest thing ever since... This guy's the greatest thing since CM Punk. And it's like, why?
Well, be fair, it's probably since Daniel Bryan.
Fair. But why? Because he had a match in Japan with Jericho and it wasn't in WWE and he still got a lot of notoriety from it?
Well, it wasn't just the Jericho matches. It was...
Okada?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just drawing a blank there. I mean,
Which is fine because they're great matches.
Yeah.
And
so that's why I don't think he's overrated because he's, to me, shown up in several different times, several different matches that he's awesome.
I do agree, but I also watch AEW and sometimes I feel like, okay, but he's not living up to what people are saying every single time. And maybe that's just me being bitter because I'm like, guys, like, open your eyes to, like, Penta and Phoenix and, like, the Young Bucks are doing better stuff than they've done in a long time. And, like, Cody Rhodes is killing it right now. Why are you hanging everything on Kenny Omega?
Well, Cody can't fight for the championship.
Yeah, I know. But, again, before all you fucking marks start crucifying me, I'm not saying I don't like Kenny Omega because, honestly, I am a fan.
Yeah, he is great.
He's great.
He is awesome.
But, I don't know, I just get so weirded out that people just want to hang everything on just one guy. And I'm like, look at this company as a whole. Just look at the whole company. Because there's people here who can definitely carry the fucking flag if Kenny decided to go somewhere else.
I thought you were going to go with Moxley.
It crossed my mind. It did.
I think he's more overrated than Kenny Omega, too.
He might be.
I think Kenny's a much better choice as a champion.
Yeah.
I think Kenny should... I guess it would have been predictable, but I think Kenny should have been the one to beat Jericho.
Okay.
But it's kind of predictable, I guess.
Yeah.
So it made sense. But I think they thought that Moxley was going to be their savior, WWE guy, and they're like, yeah, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he's not Cesaro personality.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're like, eh.
He's got his core following of people who are like diehard, like, Mox is the shit, deathmatch wrestling, blah. But, like, okay. You know?
It's funny that I'm saying I'm fine with Kenny being the champion. You're fine with the Young Bucks. And people think we hate on AEW.
No, I
don't.
don't.
Hate their fans.
I hate their fans, exactly. I watch AEW every week.
You do. I just can't. But
yeah.
I when I can, like, the Young Bucks have never, and I'm talking in Ring of Honor, even.
Yeah.
It never struck me. If they're not, well, this one's not on there, but I'm just throwing it in now because I thought of it. Then who is the greatest tag team in the business today?
I would say the Usos, but one of them's been out for so long.
I would say the Briscoes.
Oh, that's, yeah.
They're so good. They're so believable.
It's been like 20 years.
And they're just believable.
Yeah. Yeah, the Briscoes are real good.
And they're just, I've never ever seen them have a bad match.
I will say this, though. Like, if you took the Briscoes, the Usos, and the Young Bucks and put them all in a triple threat tag match, I think that would be one of the greatest matches you've ever seen.
That would be awesome.
Just throwing that out there. So, yeah, we don't fucking hate AEW or their wrestlers. And I still don't hate Kenny Omega. I'm a fan. I actually have a Kenny Omega t-shirt. Like, I like the guy.
It's not a Kenny G t-shirt.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, they both have curly hair.
No, but honestly, I do like Kenny Omega.
And he's a friend of the show.
He is. He's Canadian.
He's a friend of the show. Would you look at that?
Honest to God, yeah. I would love to see Kenny have way more years in his career and do a lot of things.
He's a little older now.
I think what it is I hate the fans that like Kenny Omega. Well, that's what makes me feel like he's overrated. That's not him.
How I feel with the Young Bucks. It's mostly their fans, but at the same time, just being honest about the Young Bucks, it's just like, they're going to flip. Mm-hmm. They're going to do a double super kick. Mm-hmm. Okay. Like, what's next, right? It's just like, I don't feel they've evolved. I think maybe in 2015, they were special. But in 2021, it's just like, all right.
I'm just disagreeing with you now because I like the attitude that they've been giving recently, but you wouldn't know because
I haven't watched
see the
So that's on me. But then if you can talk about if this is 6 months ago, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's just I don't know. It's just like, but the one thing I like about the Young Bucks, even more than the Briscoes, and you can't say the Usos because the Usos was by injury.
Yeah,
they don't seem to want to go in solo direction at any point, and that's cool.
Yeah,
and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And the Briscoes have went in solo direction.
Yep.
I just watched the Ring of Honor pay-per-view the other night. They both had a solo match.
Yeah.
So like that is cool, and I'll give them their love for that because that is cool. And they're brothers, and that's cool that they stick together like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that I thought that one was going to give us a little.
I want to throw this out there too, since we keep talking about AEW fans, WWE fans.
Right.
We are fans of professional wrestling.
Yes.
So right now, we need to, and when I say we, I'm only talking about me and you sitting here. We like professional wrestling.
Yes.
And I'm not hateful towards any company right now. I'm so happy that wrestling is thriving on every level, including the indies. I'm glad Impact's still around. I love Ring of Honor. I watch AEW every single week. Might not be on Wednesday, but I still watch it every single week, and I'm super happy for a lot of the guys there.
I'm going to WrestleMania.
You're going to WrestleMania.
Both nights.
I'm
going to be a sideline reporter. You're going to give me a press pass.
That's right. We're working on it.
You better give me a press pass.
Working on it. Just give me a minute. But I'm saying NWA.
I got the NWA pay-per-view.
Yeah, I'm so happy that the business as a whole and all my good brothers and sisters are getting jobs. That's what I'm happy about. So I'll watch everything because if I don't, I'm not growing as a wrestler.
I don't want AEW to fail.
I don't either.
And it's like the people are like, NXT is moving away from AEW. Okay, they'll get more audience.
Yeah.
Why not?
Let's put wrestling.
You know who else will get more audience? AEW. So it's like, it's fine.
Let's put wrestling on every single night and not have competition because now we're all going to watch it.
Yeah. Monday through Friday, literally.
Yeah.
Every day, Monday through Friday.
What's your next question?
Okay. We've talked about this one before. So this one can include old people.
Shawn Michaels.
The elderly. So Shawn Michaels is your answer? Okay. Okay, Shawn Michaels is the answer to who in the business today is the biggest crybaby.
Ooh.
We've talked this before.
Yeah. See, so Bret Hart comes to mind first.
That was what I put, but I think I might change it. Bret came right away.
However, I feel like in recent years you haven't heard about it as much.
True.
But Mick Foley.
Mick Foley, yep, absolutely. Ooh.
Literally, anybody who complains about anything, he just immediately agrees with them and jumps on their train and, he just wants to, I can't even find a word for it. But, you're the hardcore legend. You've done this crazy shit.
Right.
And you had this amazing career. And now when people are like, "Wah, JR said that I do too many dives and it doesn't make for a good wrestler," you defend that person.
Right? I know. I agree. I agree with Mick. I said that on the last episode I was on, that he's such a whiner crybaby.
Yeah. And you know who's a real one? JR. He's not a crybaby. He's the real fucking tough talk that these guys need.
Yes.
And he's going to sit down and say, "This is why you're not where you could be."
About AEW.
About AEW guys. Or about anyone. Yeah. JR will just be like, "This is why this isn't going to get you to the main event."
He's not a crybaby. No.
But then, on the flip side, that person will be like, "Oh man, JR hurt my feelings," and Mick Foley comes over to hug them and fucking tell them that it's okay and they could suck if they want. The fuck? What happened to... Okay, what happened to pro wrestlers being trained and knowing that it was going to be a tough road, knowing you could get hurt, knowing that there was always going to be people telling you, try this, do that, whatever. And now, it's that's gone. Now it comes down to, don't hurt my feelings. This should be easier to get into. Why do I have to work so hard? I can do cool stuff. Don't tell me what I need to do, even though you've been around for 45 years and I've been around for a cup of coffee. Where did that attitude come from?
I mean, you can't just spend... we won't get into it fully, but it's not... It's the microcosm of society.
That's true. It's just going right along.
And it's our generation.
It is.
It is our generation. And we probably have some of those qualities we don't even realize.
So my trainer brought me in the way of, it's going to suck. It's going to hurt. You could get hurt. Your career could end at any minute. Do you still want to do this? And by the way, he was trained by Les Thatcher, and his best friend is Mox. So, that mentality is what I have. This is going to be hard. It's not always going to be easy. And there's always going to be a veteran who comes to me and says, "I don't like the way you do X, Y, and Z. Fucking change it." And it's up to me to decipher, okay, how can I improve? What am I going to take from this guy as opposed to this guy? And continue to grow. I don't fucking get butthurt and go, "Oh, man, you've been around 10 more years than me. Hit me. Tell me something."
Right.
What's the problem?
And it's not just in wrestling. Even in my field, yes, I own a restaurant. I've been a chef for a long time and cooking for a long time. Am I the greatest cook and chef in the world?
Yes.
No, absolutely not. I'm I met a buddy and his dad owned a restaurant, much older chef. I was picking his brain, trying to learn shit. Mm-hmm. And it's it's something. And to be honest and to be fair, you catch me 10 years ago? Yeah. Fuck no.
Yeah.
I'm the best chef in the world. Fuck this.
Yeah.
It comes with growing and ages and aging. And it is a lot to do with our society of our age. But Mick Foley isn't our age.
Right.
And I think he's doing it because he wants to be like a savior to that generation of people.
I think so, too.
Because they need one, and I think he realizes that. But the biggest crybaby, and it's like the opposite of Foley, the biggest whining crybaby piece of shit is Jim Cornette.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, that's...
Now, that's an example of a guy who just hates AEW.
No, he hates everything.
Well, yeah, true, he hates all wrestling.
I'll listen to his podcast once a month. Maybe once a month. And I skipped through about the first hour of it because it's just how AEW sucks, WWE sucks, Ring of Honor sucks, President Trump sucks, or when he was the president, President Trump sucks, and this person sucks, and that person sucks, and this person sucks, and she's a slut, and this person sucks. It's just like, I listen to the one podcast because at some point he gets into like questions about old wrestling. And then I'll listen to that.
Yeah.
He is fucking brutal.
At one point, he was good at his job. And he was
fucking
one of the
80s.
best. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like,
and even the mid-90s with Vader and all that stuff. But now, he's not in touch. Like, Kevin Owens is great. AEW is not terrible. Right. Ring of Honor is not shitting the bed.
Right.
Like, stop.
Yeah, he is something else. And, like, I'm not part of his cult. And I can't with him. So he is easily... Now, like I said, I wrote Bret Hart, but I changed my mind in that time. So
no, I think I might even like yours better than mine.
If he's not the biggest crybaby, he's easily, in the wrestling business, the biggest piece of shit.
Yeah, for sure.
He is. Sure. And here's a guy that, like, acts like he's tough and he's going to kill Vince Russo. Like, now there's a guy... Jim Cornette, that I would gladly get in a fist fight with.
Yeah, for sure.
Easily.
For sure. Also, Vince Russo is so weird.
But the thing about Vince Russo is everyone, like, trained us to, like, hate him.
Yeah.
And he's not
so bad.
He doesn't seem like
But he's just
guy.
strange. Like, I listen to some of the stuff that he says, and, like, I'll be honest, sometimes I don't believe it all.
Yeah.
But there's other stuff where I'm like, I bet that's true.
Right?
You know what
but
I mean?
even, I don't listen to his podcast, but even when I do, there's something endearing about him.
Yeah.
As opposed to, like, piece of shit Cornette.
Right.
And it's like, and here's the funny thing about everybody. 20 years ago, everybody's washing their hands of the Montreal Screwjob. Now, Jim Cornette takes credit for it. Vince Russo takes credit for it. Bruce Pritchard takes credit for it. Triple H takes credit for it.
Yeah.
Everybody but the one who thought of it, Vince McMahon.
The original story from even back then was that Triple H put it on the table first.
Yes.
So, if that is true, then Triple H, go ahead and take credit for it. Whatever. Because that's the story I was hearing even back then. So
Cornette did say that he thought of it because there was another screw job in the 30s that happened in Montreal.
Okay.
So, and he's weird with that. Like, he does, Jim Cornette and Dave Meltzer. Notice we didn't say Meltzer's a crybaby. We didn't.
No, we
didn't say it.
Well, that's because he's not a crybaby. He just
a liar.
Yeah. Right.
They are very knowledgeable in wrestling. And, like, if they're, like, a guest on a podcast, like when Jericho has Meltzer on, it's great.
Yeah.
But just in their own individual spaces, fuck them.
Agreed.
Okay, we got 3 questions left.
All right, we're creeping up on an hour.
Creeping up here. Right now, in the business today, who is the best heel?
Ooh, Roman Reigns comes to mind.
I'll give you 3 because I got 3.
Okay.
And I agree.
That's MJF.
And I agree. That's 2 of them. Well, it's easy for Reigns. Reigns, like, switching over.
Yeah.
It is just the best thing that's happened in wrestling in years.
Yeah.
It easily... I remember sitting on that couch watching that with you. Mm-hmm. When he came back, we were both like, what the fuck is that? Mm-hmm. What's up with his teeth? Yep. What is he doing?
Yeah.
Is he a heel now? Oh, my God.
Yeah, that was cool.
Like, it was super cool. And MJF is, like, the answer that everybody says. Like, it's like the trendy answer, but it's kind of true.
It is, yeah. That's one of the trends that I'll tag along with. Like, normally I'm like, whatever, it's just a popular thing to say, but MJF is really good. Yeah. And honestly, like, this is probably going to shock you, but, like, Don Callis.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. I just don't know what he's doing right now.
I watch it weekly, though, so I can say,
So I didn't even realize Omega was a heel.
Actually, no, I'm going to change that. I'm going to go with Reigns, I'm going to go with MJF, and I'm going to go with Vincent.
Ooh. He's doing pretty
That's Ring of Honor for anybody that doesn't watch Ring of Honor.
Well, that's because anyone that goes up against Matt Taven is a heel.
Yeah, I mean, that's the hottest feud. When that pay-per-view came up, immediately it's like, well, that's the match.
And it was like a cinematic match.
Yeah, yes.
It was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool match.
Who are yours?
And I had Reigns, I had MJF, and then I put my other man crush, Nick Aldis.
Oh, okay.
He's seriously, but he's
so we had 2 out of the 3.
He's one of those tweener guys, though, too. But, like, he's carrying that company on his back. He's been carrying that
What company is this?
This is NWA.
I just want to clarify for people that we're talking about every fucking promotion.
True. Nick Aldis has had that title, I think, for 400 days, and then he lost it, like, 2.5 years ago to Cody for, like, 2 weeks. And before that, he had it for, like, 3 years.
Yeah.
So he's, like, old school.
Yeah.
I mean, he's had that title for like 4 years on and off.
Yeah, for sure.
On and off once.
Wasn't that... There was something with him and McIntyre for that title, I thought.
For the NWA one? No, that might have been Impact. Maybe.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure when the NWA started to like him defending it against. There might have been.
I think the NWA title was part of TNA when Drew had it.
Yeah. Because it wasn't, and then I don't know, because back when it started, NWA started, it was the NWA, or when TNA started,
right?
It was the NWA champion. Like Jeff Jarrett was.
And I think it stayed that way until Drew, if I'm not mistaken. Because I think Drew was the NWA champion.
Okay, maybe. But now,
quote me on that.
It's meaning something, and he's just he's great. He literally reminds me of Flair, but he's not like showboat like Flair at the same time. He's like.
Are you saving me a really difficult question right now for the last one?
No, I got 2 more. I got 2 more. So on the adverse, who's the best face in the world today? Gotta say Drew McIntyre.
He's definitely up there.
He's up there, but I don't think he's the one.
No. Ace. Wow, why am I having such a hard time with that one? You pouring some bubbly? I'm cracking my knuckles because I'm nervous.
No, I'm taking a pee.
Right under the table. It's on my shoes. Best face.
This one was hard for me, but I think I nailed it. So what are your options? You got Drew?
Yeah, Drew came to mind first. Edge.
I don't know. Is he? Have you been watching SmackDown?
Yeah, that's true. Edge
is Daniel Bryan? Like, who knows right now?
Edge is dancing on the line. Right. But Bryan's dancing on the line, too, so I don't know. I mean, Braun Strowman's a pretty good face.
It's good, because Shane is being such an old school heel right now.
Yeah.
My answer in the business today is Kevin Owens.
Oh, he's a great...
He's such a good face, and I used to think he was the best heel.
Yeah.
But now, as a face, he is fantastic.
I might have to stick with Kevin Owens, too, because I'm drawing a blank.
And even though she's not one anymore, I thought, we've mentioned this, that Sasha Banks was such a good face.
Yeah, I was kind of sad to see her turn back to heel, because she's a really good face.
And we don't necessarily like her as a heel.
Right.
But as a face, she was really believable.
Yep.
But Kevin Owens and Sasha for me were, but she's not anymore. So Kevin Owens, he's such a good face. I don't understand it. He was such a good heel.
Yeah.
But they always say the best heels make the best faces.
Yeah, for sure.
Because he really is.
It's got to be Owens then, because honestly, the only person I could think of was Drew, who was just a straight up face until you said Kevin Owens. Yeah. So
all that shit against Reigns, I mean, he was just battered, and it was just so. And now Sami Zayn, it's funny.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to see it. I said it years ago, keep those two on opposite shows. Yeah. Sick of seeing them fight. And then have a big WrestleMania match in a few years. Yeah. And now they got it, and it's interesting.
I also think that it's cool at the moment that the Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole feud is making Kyle like a white meat babyface, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. It is cool to see a little movement down on NXT finally, because it's been a long time. Yeah. I mean, Gargano went in and out here and there. Right. But, it was cool. It's cool to see that movement. And then, all right, best heel, best face, the final question. In the world today, you only have one answer. One answer. Who is the best wrestler / sports entertainer in the world today?
Out of the current crop of guys?
Yes. No, Shawn Michaels, 1996. No.
Well, and I only get one.
You can throw some names out, but you got to pick one. You're going to say Drew, you're going to say Ali.
No, people are going to hate me for this.
Okay, I have an answer.
Dolph Ziggler.
Okay.
Honest to God. Yeah. Dolph is the epitome of what a sports entertainer is. And I don't care. Yeah.
And he's a good wrestler.
Yes.
He was a college wrestler, too.
People might get mad at that or think he's stale or he's been around too long or they don't push him. But he had a really good fucking career, and he's still relevant.
What do you mean they don't push him? Do you think he would be here still? Do you think he'd be here? The problem that people are starting to hate Dolph Ziggler is he's been doing stuff for Fox News. So, that's why they're starting to hate him. He used to be their baby. Yeah. And then he started doing stuff for Fox News. And everything has to be about politics.
If I think of somebody who has an it factor, who is a great wrestler, great on the mic, sells amazing, great entertainer all around, can be funny, can be serious, can be badass, I think of Dolph Ziggler. So,
I can agree, except he's not the right answer.
Who do you got?
Randy Orton.
Ooh, that's great.
He is the best in the world today.
That was great.
Randy Orton is the best in the world today, I think. And, can you think of the last time you saw a bad Randy Orton match?
No, I can't.
And, okay, he said some weird promos, but even this weird shit he's doing with Bray Wyatt now, with the puking the black stuff, he's doing it so good. Yeah. And so convincing. And he had no problem RKOing Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
But, like, if you even think about it, his battles with Edge, his battles with Drew,
Yes.
and now his battles with The Fiend.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anybody better in wrestling right now than Randy Orton. You know I was the biggest Randy Orton shitter
Yeah.
back in the day.
Yeah.
And I never, like, I mentioned that I was never a big fan of Edge, but I never hated it.
Yeah.
I hated Randy Orton. I thought he was overrated when he was 24. But now that he's 40...
But can I throw out a few, like, honorable mentions?
Sure.
So Dolph's still my guy. And I do agree that Randy Orton is probably the right answer. I really do. Like, you were kind of saying, he's 40, and he's still the guy.
Yeah.
And he's never not been the guy since he became that.
You know how old Bobby Lashley is, by the way?
No, I don't actually.
Like 46, 47.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's
good for him.
real old. And
He don't look like it.
And right. He's at the top of his game right now, too.
So, your point of Randy Orton makes the most sense because he also has his own... I don't want to say speed. What's the right word? Like, he works at his own pace. And it's not... Nobody else does that in the company. Randy Orton has his own vibe. Yeah. That's the word I was looking for.
And, like, he's a ring general.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's just like when Randy Orton does something, it could be snapped like that snap power slam that he does, or it could be deadly looking like he's creeping up on. And it's just his own vibe, his own pace. And he just has that it factor where he's always going to be relevant, and he's always going to be the guy until he decides he's not. But some honorable mentions right now, I would say AJ Styles, because at that age, with his athleticism, great on the mic, we didn't talk a lot about him today.
We did it. That's unfortunate.
Which is kind of
great.
Yeah, and it's kind of surprising. But
it's okay to be like the second best at everything, right?
And I mean, AJ, for his age and his athleticism and his mic skills and his credentials for his whole career, I would say he's a contender for me in the top spot also. Yeah. We'll turn it into a joke later, but Chris Jericho.
Yeah, Jericho's been great.
He's at the top of his game still. Mm-hmm. He's been in ECW, WCW, WWE, now AEW, New Japan. Like, he's been all over the place, and he's always been relevant. He's always mattered, even when he wasn't supposed to. Right. Like, in WCW, they could give a fuck about Chris Jericho, but he was over it. Right. And, I don't know, and he's got that it factor. And he's naturally charismatic, so... You know.
And I want to throw out Nick Aldis, too.
Yeah, of course.
Of course. I wouldn't throw Taven. I don't think Taven's the best in the world.
No.
I would put Nick Aldis in that.
When I think of, like, Ring of Honor people who have,
I don't think anybody.
No, and I was going to say...
And I love Ring of Honor.
I do, too. But you know who did come to mind?
The only one that came to my mind was Roosh.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because he's kind of got everything except he doesn't speak English, and that is it's tough.
Yeah.
That is tough.
But you know who's got that main event vibe and feel to him from Ring of Honor besides Taven is Shane Taylor.
Okay, yeah.
And for me, I would say that I'm not saying he should leave Ring of Honor because he'll, have a better career or whatever, because he's doing fine.
Yeah.
But, like, if he were to go somewhere like AEW or WWE, I think he'd be a main event player.
I don't know if he would be. I don't know. I think he's...
He's like Keith Lee, but he talks better.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that is
like,
true.
He's better on the mic. You put a mic in Shane Taylor's hand, you'll listen.
That is true.
And I learned a lot from him, when I was first starting out and we were sharing locker rooms together about cutting promos. Right. Because if you remember, I started as a manager. So Shane used to grab me after my promos and be like, come here. And he would sit me down and be like, why are you doing it like this? Why don't I believe you? And that never left me. And now when I watch him on Ring of Honor, I'm like, fuck, he's doing what he taught me.
Right.
Like, cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he could. He is like, I think he's a champ, isn't he? I don't know.
He is.
Remember. But Roosh, I remember when me and you went to that Ring of Honor thing, and like, Roosh kind of just came into there, and I didn't know too much about him, and we saw him, and he just looked like a star.
Yeah, we liked him right away.
He is just, he's huge. You don't even realize how big he is.
No.
And he's fast, and he's athletic. He just doesn't speak English. He comes from a wrestling family. His brother is Dragon Lee and Sin Cara, Mystico.
Oh, no shit.
Those are his brothers.
Didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's a wrestling family.
That's cool.
Like, I think he could be the star, but I think he would need a manager.
I'm going to throw this out here, too. Not related, but you keep talking about stars. Vita Von Star is...
Friend of the show.
Is going to be fucking huge.
Yeah.
And now they're doing the women's tournament and stuff this summer. That's somebody to watch out for.
She's cool, and when I follow her on Twitter after your interview... One thing I like about her, she's legit.
Yes.
But she's also, like, knows that she's attractive, and she uses, like, her sex appeal.
Yes.
And, like, not in, like, people will talk about mid-2000s sex appeal of wrestling, of, like, the women, blah, blah, blah. Okay.
Not like that.
Not like that, but she knows that she's a good wrestler, and she's not leaning on that, and she's not leaning on the fact that she's beautiful.
Yeah.
She's doing both.
She's combining it.
And it's like...
Yeah.
and it's just like, I can see it because she's not a big deal yet. But I can see that, like, pissing off the Meltzer crowd.
Yes.
Well, she should just be in tights and go out and be a wrestler and not be dressing like, right? Like, I saw her post something that she was in, like, a lingerie wrestling match.
Yes.
Girl,
yep.
go make your money.
Yeah.
Because you're honoring of honor. You're making your way through the thing.
Not to mention that she's on the road. Like, we're still in a pandemic. And this girl's on the road.
Yeah.
She's getting bookings. She's doing her thing. This pandemic isn't over. So that tells me that she's already a wanted person in the wrestling business.
And because she's not snubbing her nose at, like, stuff like the lingerie wrestling.
Exactly.
Right? And she knows, like, she can put it all together. And her being a guest on the show, she's got a personality.
Yeah. And let me point this out, too. This wasn't on the show, but she's a death metal singer.
I didn't know
And
that.
she sent me 2 of her songs, and they are fucking awesome. And this chick's got a voice, man.
I used to do that back in the day.
I remember. But, like, she's well-rounded, so you know she's comfortable around the microphone because she's a singer.
Yeah.
And being in the music business, being in the circus, now being in wrestling, she is primed to succeed.
Yeah.
She's going places.
Yeah, she's cool. And, like, if she does get an AEW or WWE, they're probably going to be like, oh, you need to cut out that lingerie shit. She'll be like, all right.
I mean, she's pretty chill, so.
Yeah. Like, she'll be like, okay, boss. You're the boss. So how'd you like my questions?
I thought they were great questions. I had fun with it.
That's why this is the All Bets Are Off podcast with Robby Vegas with Chaz Stanley.
Yeah, there's 2 widths.
Real quick, who won at WrestleMania last night? So last night's main event would have been Drew and Bobby.
So we're recording this 2 weeks in advance.
Okay, but I'm saying, what's your prediction? We won't go through the whole card.
I'm still sticking with Drew.
Drew makes sense, but there's a part of me that I might be cheering for Bobby.
I think I would be happy no matter what.
Yeah, I think I might be cheering for Bobby. Honestly, I think Drew wins, but my heart's with Bobby.
I just want to see a good match.
Then who wins tonight? The triple threat.
Probably Edge.
Well, Brian has to take the pin. Mm-hmm. Probably Roman. Don't take it off. It's okay for Edge to win to win the Royal Rumble and lose. Mm-hmm. Fiend, Randy Orton.
Fiend.
Yeah, probably Fiend.
Yeah.
It's a big Bad Bunny in the mix.
Bad Bunny.
Probably. That's okay. Anything off the top of your head else that's for the WrestleMania card? There's a lot of good
I think
matches.
Rhea Ripley beats Asuka.
That's interesting. I don't have an answer for that. That's an exciting match, man.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have an answer for that.
Sorry, I'm eating beef jerky. That match has a big fight feel.
That does have a big fight feel. I think Matt Riddle beats Sheamus. Mm-hmm. I think the New Day keeps the titles.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm interested to see it almost, though.
I wonder how much we're getting wrong right now because the last night just happened.
This is cool. So, I mean, it's just a good card, man. I think Sasha loses, so that's fine.
I think so, too.
I don't really care about that match, honestly.
I don't know.
I don't.
Whoever wins, wins.
Yeah. So there's a lot of big fight feels. Like Randy Orton versus Fiend feels big.
Yeah, the melted Fiend.
It really feels big. Like, yeah, he's goofy. Mm-hmm. But Kane's goofy.
Yeah.
We just accept it.
Great Hall of Fame class, by the way.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to throw
And
that out there.
Batista's out of it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder. After all his, speaking of big crybaby. Anyway, moving on. I'm excited for WrestleMania. You better give me a press pass.
I'm trying.
I will get down there for you.
Let me check my email real quick.
I'll have the stick. I'll be like Gene Mean. I'll be like Gene Mean. I'm there. I'm excited. Maybe I'll get some interviews for you if I get that press pass.
Yeah, I don't got anything back yet. We're working on it.
Come on, Shane, get back to me. Oh, Shane's gonna lose, of course.
Yeah, for sure.
In a solid steel cage.
Well, they only put him in the cage so he could jump off the top.
Of course.
That's all
That's a
was for.
Shane McMahon thing.
Yeah.
So, well, I'm excited for WrestleMania. I hope you guys are. I hope you enjoyed it last night. I hope you enjoy it tonight, everybody.
And I hope you enjoy it because you're there right now.
I am there right now. Well, right now, this is premiere. No, I'm hungover right now.
That's right.
What is this, 8 a.m. on Sunday? Yeah, I'm hungover. Because I was just hanging out with, like, Seamus at the Irish pub. And it
Yes.
was a thing.
Also, I want to do a shout out to my boys who are wrestling all over Tampa. HC Loke, Caden and Maximo Suave, and Danny Garcia. So good luck to you guys.
I didn't see that those guys were done. I saw that HC Loke was.
Yeah.
I didn't see that your other guys were.
Good luck to you guys and, guys from the area that are going down there and enjoying their WrestleMania weekend with multiple bookings.
Hit me up with tickets, bro. I'm down there. I got no plans on Friday.
I'm also very excited that AEW is coming to our area.
Oh, I didn't even...
September. They're coming to Rochester.
I was supposed to go to that Rochester show last year, or the first week after COVID.
Yes.
Where Brody showed up, and Hardy.
Yes. So we'll see what happens when they come this year.
Well, you have a long ways to wait. I'm going to WrestleMania tonight.
That's right. Tonight. And you were there last night.
And I was there last night.
Yeah.
I hope.
You.
I don't know. I don't even know. Honestly, I mean, I'm traveling from New York.
Right.
So it's like, I don't know as of March 30th, like, do I have to get a COVID test to go inside of WrestleMania?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't have these answers.
Right.
I don't think I need them for the plane rides.
Right.
But, like, for to get inside of WrestleMania, I don't know. I heard that the Super Bowl didn't. It's at the same venue for the Super Bowl. So
True.
we'll see. I mean, if I have to get one, I have to get one.
Yeah.
Whatever. But, like, nothing's been clarified, but that's why I think there isn't one.
Right.
Because it hasn't been clarified.
I agree. It's too close now.
Yeah.
It's tonight.
It's tonight. I mean, I was there yesterday.
Well, we hope you guys enjoyed this shoot interview. Just, honestly, they were just off the top of my head.
Yeah.
You know? And I don't hate Kenny Omega.
No, I don't either.
And I don't hate the Young Bucks. So.
I don't. That wasn't convincing. That wasn't convincing. And I hate New Jack.
You do hate me.
I do hate
You did say that.
He is a black eye for wrestling. So, yeah, New Jack, I do dislike you.
Well, stay safe to all my brothers that are in Tampa this weekend. And, yeah, looking forward to it.
Thank you. I will be.
So thanks for all your questions.
Yeah, man, no problem. Thank you for tuning into the All Bets Are Off podcast with Robby Vegas with Chazz Stanley.
Does there have to be two withs? Can't it just be with Robby Vegas and Chazz Stanley?
No,
Should we get a logo made specifically for those episodes where your name's on the
right?
top?
Like, you know, how it's like you know, the movie The Patriot with Mel Gibson. The podcast is called the All Bets Are Off podcast with Robby Vegas with Chazz Stanley.
You're right. You're right.
See how that works?
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
I got it.
That's
All right, cool. That's fine. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you next week with Gesso Lantern.
The preceding presentation has been brought to you by the Gear Network.